What's up, guys? Matt Alvarez here with episode number 6 of Market Militia Minutes. Today, I want to kind of address the mental sabotage that I think we all, as entrepreneurs, at some point have to overcome. Maybe the most effective way to do that is through example. So, yesterday I mentioned that I saw potential for an awesome series of offers based around the military leadership angle. I also said that I didn't, at the time, see how I could translate it for the masses. I really wanted to use today's video as an opportunity to kind of get some of my thoughts on the subject recorded for posterity's sake, but also to explain why ultimately I still believe that there is an opportunity there. Um, by thinking things through from a different angle and operating on the advice of a good friend, I've begun to find the confidence and the faith that I'm once again moving in the right direction. Um, First, I want to talk about what I see, well, what I used to see as being obstacles to making the translation between military leadership and leadership as it applies to someone who's never been exposed to the military. Now, I see these as the exact points of focus now that will attract my dream client. And as a side note, as I'm writing the notes for this video, my thoughts on on the subject are shifting. So some of this may come out a little fuzzy, but I will clarify, or I'll try to as we go forward. Um, I think the number one thing that kept coming to mind that always seemed to stop me cold was the argument that members of the military, by virtue of their respective positions in the chain of command, are required by military law to obey the orders of their leaders. Well, with that kind of backing, any dumbass can call themselves a leader, even those that have no clue what they're doing, no clue what it even means. Um, and believe me, not every person that attains a leadership role in the military deserves the opportunity or possesses the competence to carry out the duties of the position. While they may be good at their job, that's only a part of being a leader, especially in the military. Um, so based on what I see in the civilian world, that set of conditions is unfortunately, it occurs in a lot of organizations. Anyway, when I when I would look in as my avatar and see me from my dream client's point of view, um, I would always think, who the hell are you to teach me about leadership? You could have been a crappy leader for all I know. And I think and feel much differently about that question and that statement than I did 7 or 8 years ago. Just probably a discussion best left for another time. Um, that thought, though, had me pumping my brakes anytime that I started thinking that I was going to run forward with the idea. Along with that, depending on the current state of geopolitical affairs, um, if a military member decides they don't want to obey a lawful order, the consequences could and should be quite severe. Um, a lot of times lives are on the line. So I guess self-doubt had its way with me for a while. Always the nagging thought or idea that, what if I wasn't as good a leader as I thought I was? What if they were following me just because they had to? Um, those thoughts flitted around in my mind for the better part of 7 years, basically annihilating any chance I had of confidently moving forward. Um, and I'm sure that most, if not all of you, can relate in some small way to what I'm talking about here, especially if you've entertained any type of coaching or counseling or product creation type business model. It's what's called the imposter syndrome. Though through all of this mental mayhem, um, a few points kept coming to the forefront of the conversation. And yeah, it's a conversation I was having with myself. Um, One, there is a drastic and often critical distinction between someone that follows you because they have to and someone who follows you because they trust you, or they have faith in your abilities, and they believe that at your in your heart that you ultimately have their best interest in mind. And two, people who will follow you to hell and back if you show them that you aren't afraid to do what it is you're telling them to do. They follow you because you lead them. It's that simple, really. The specifics, the tactics, the strategies involved in understanding what actually being a leader means can be intricate at times. But at its core, leadership boils down to the motto that was being used around the Army when I was getting ready to retire, and that's mission first, people always. Um, it's balancing the two. Therein lies the rub. So many more discussions to come on this subject, guys. The ideas have started to percolate. They're rushing around in my mind, and I could talk for a while, but I also want to be respectful of your time. And in the interest of conversation, y'all feel free to comment or DM me with stories of dismal leadership, or even better, let me know about the great leaders that you've had in your life. Oh, and whatever platform you happen to be seeing this video on, like, share, subscribe, whatever it is accordingly. It would be much appreciated. That said, guys, I'm out. I'll see y'all on the next one.